Okay? All right. So to move on, we're looking at the fact that memorization is heightened in the virtual classroom. And this is because the teaching aids that are conceived, for example, for the virtual class are richer. They're more dynamic. They have more, they have movement. They have, it makes it, they've made it more focused probably because they're trying to make up, or we're trying to make up for the lack of bodily gestures in the normal traditional classroom. Last but not least on this list anyway, I want to mention the fact that the learner sitting behind his computer, he's away from the critical gaze of the rest of the group. It might be critical, it might be inquiring, it might be amused. In any case, he's not the focus of their attention. And so he feels less inhibited and more likely to participate actively in the training. And this again popped out for me personally as an instructor. It was a striking contrast to the traditional classroom behavior. A reticent student would suddenly become adventurous, and he would seem to have more to contribute, be more willing to venture out, make mistakes, and so on. We've also had that very positive kind of feedback from Tell Me More, where our clients have been very happy to tell us that, you know, the participants have taken full advantage of this training that they've provided. Okay, all right, we're moving on here and looking at the type of profiles and initiatives. The question is asked, what kind of learners, for what kind of learners is this delivery style most suitable? And the answer, those who have a busy schedule, I guess everybody, generally these people are unavailable and they're the ones who start training and never finish, or absentees in the training program. The virtual class is available at their convenience, so there's a drastic cut in absenteeism. Again, you have those who have to travel away often, away on business. Then there are those who are afraid to speak in public, for example. And of course, those who would like to enjoy the advantage of live recording or live or recorded sessions that are available outside of working hours and at any place you are. The next question that comes up, what training projects are best suited for the virtual classroom, or sorry, for what training project is the virtual classroom most adapted? Excuse me. So I'd say that, first of all, we have the multi-site initiatives. With our current corporate actions and decisions such as mergers, we have outsourcing today. Today's companies have sites and offices and centers and factories spread out over the country as well as offshore. And the virtual classroom offers the perfect delivery method for training staff located in various different places. Whether it's inter or intra-company training, the virtual online option happens to be the only possibility maybe of bringing everyone together in real time. It's also the perfect solution for sure for ongoing projects and for initiatives which have the objective of pooling resources together. We could be talking about resources in terms of skills or cultural differences. We have multinationals, multicultural firms, such as this one that I work for, where we bring the cultures and languages together to strengthen cooperation. And this collaborative method of training is only possible across cultures through the virtual space. A fine example is what we're doing here today, for instance. I see that participants come from all over all over Europe, probably across continent. And I would say then that as in our company, we also share knowledge of our various cultures. We try to see how one solution can fit different contexts. Tell Me More, we have the other cultures, our partners in China and US, for example, influence our methods and practices as well. Okay, third question. We're looking at the type of subjects which are suitable for this kind of delivery, or for which this kind of delivery is suitable. I would say that the virtual class is a suitable type of delivery for any kind of training, whatever the topic. But I'll mention a few specific ones here, like language training, of which Tell Me More is a leader, computer skills training, career training and development. And then let's move on to look at some of the keys for successful deployment of the virtual classroom. All right. Once you talk about online transmission, it's natural to evoke technical assistance. From the decision-making stage, where you're deciding on what are the basics that you need, then these parameters have to be decided with technical assistance participating. And then you get on to the setting up stage. That's important as well. You go on to where the project is taking place. As it ensues, it's important, of course, to have technical assistance in case of emergency, or also just simply that the project runs smoothly. So that's an important aspect. Okay, I'll move on to the communication plan. You have to set up a good plan to communicate the appeal of this virtual class to managers and learners alike. For managers, the appeal lies in the innovative image of the company, as we mentioned before, the organizational advantages. But for learners, you might insist on the communicate on the learning advantages that we talked about, and especially reassure learners with the fact that there is technical assistance provided. I can say that from personal observation, much of the reticence that you find initially when students or learners are making a decision as to what type of training they would prefer, or as they start their training, much of this reticence is reduced when they are assured that there is some kind of technical assistance, and they're not expected to handle everything on their own, figure out the details, and solve the problems as they come up, if they do appear. All right, we're moving on now to some recommendations as to the best practices when employing this method of delivery. I would say set up an appropriate space or place with a high-speed connection. Make meeting rooms available, one or two or several, where participants can come with their laptops. You want to provide extra headsets in case they're needed, and train the managers first. They can tell about their positive experience and influence the other employees to open up to this innovation of the virtual class. I'd like to talk a little bit more about virtual classes with Tell Me More and what we have right now going on. Okay, so we offer online classes 24 hours, 7 days a week, and a class on the hour every hour. And here is another example of where we come together as really as a multicultural, multilingual community. Because of the fact that it's 24 hours per day, we have participants from all over. We have participants from China at the same time as participants from Italy and so on. So we get various accents. We're able, since we're doing language teaching, we're able to benefit from that. Our students can hear and understand English of the different accents, and that is considered a part of their language learning too. We've got at Tell Me More 3 levels, from beginner to advanced. so beginner, intermediate, between those levels to advanced level. And all our trainers are native speakers. We offer over 100 topics, at least 100 topics, and we've got English, for example, for everyday as well as professional situations. And we add to enrich our bank of topics every month. We add 5 to 6 new topics to the lot that we've got. Okay. All right, so I've come to the part where we have 10 minutes to try. If anyone would like to try out a class, an online class for just a few 5 to 10 minutes. Following that, we'll have our question and answer period, and I'll invite Virginie Jolin to come in on this with me. Is there anyone who is brave enough to try out a virtual class in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, see what it's like? I noticed that Daniela's hand is up, but maybe that was something that she had done before. Daniela, I'll unmute your mic. Okay, she took off her raised hand signal. Okay. Well, if there's no one, we could go straight into the question and answer period. And well, just before we go, just one last call. If there's anyone who wants to try out, it's going to be English for intermediate level, for example. That's where we can demonstrate. Nobody for the demo? Michelle? Okay, is that a hands up for the demo?
Yes.
Okay, great. Michelle, anybody joining, Michelle? Nobody would like to join Michelle? Okay, do we have another? We do have another volunteer. Okay, all right. Okay, we have a few coming up. Okay, all right, good. Okay, in a few minutes then let's try and do that. Okay, let me write a note here.